our aforementioned Naya Blitz, and Alex Blackard is playing Blue White White, basically Blue White Geist the same trap deck.
Looks like the players are just about set. I think they have their openers there.
Yeah, Gene is a writer for Stars of the Games, occasional writer. I really like his articles. He's actually most well known for he's the biggest proponent of not Brainstorm in Legacy.
Is he anti-Brainstorm, or is he just not want to play Brainstorm?
He plays a lot of non-Brainstorm decks, non-blue decks specifically, in Legacy. He's a big Maverick fan. I think he's playing Jund today. So.
That's right. We have a whole other tournament coming up in just a couple hours.
Right, basically, right after the conclusion of this is when the Legacy Open will begin, and we'll be back after. We're gonna broadcast the semifinals and the finals today, and then we'll be back for about round 3 of Legacy.
Roughly round 3, depending on what time everything kind of lines up as far as whenever the first round and second round finish up. But that's usually how it goes, and yeah, we'll have some exciting Legacy action to bring you guys. We also have a something that we mentioned yesterday. Kind of a new thing, another lithograph series featuring Liz Nugent and her creature collection. Of course, if you hadn't heard already, on Friday, Liz Nugent's creature collection, or the next iteration of the creature collection, Turtle, was released. Yeah, it was announced and released, and is available now.
And we're underway.
All right, we actually have a match. Okay.
Alex has played a land, and Gene has played a champion of the pairs. Off of Cavern of Souls, so his pretty much ideal opener. Cavern of Souls is easily the most powerful land in Gene's deck. It is a colorless City of Brass.
Yeah. Painless City of Brass.
Yes. Also happens to make his spells uncounterable.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And
very powerful start.
Follow up with Emissary.
Follow up with something. I see a Boros Elite. But the Mayor of Everbrook. The checklist card in Gene's hand is the Mayor of Everbrook, but Lightning Mauler is the play.
Yeah, and
so that's gonna pair it up. You know, the casual 7 damage. Alex has got a Searing Spear on the Champion of the Pairs to cut it to 4, but it's still pretty much a not perfect opening for Gene.
Yeah, that was turn 2. He attacked with 7 power worth of guys.
And still has quite a board presence even through a removal spell.
Yeah, so Alex plays Steam Vents, passes back, and Gene now wants to just add more pressure. He's got a Boros Elite, as you mentioned. I think, like you said, he's also got a Mayor of Averbrook in there. And there's the Mayor, yeah.
It's funny, you see a checklist card and you're like, wonder what it is, and you have to like look at the deck list.
Yeah, you're like, what could that be?
You have to think of what's in their deck. Yeah.
It's Delver of Secrets. So Mayor of Averbrook.
Snapcaster Mage comes on as Ambush Viper. That was a pretty big mistake from Alex. He blocked the 3/3 Burning Tree Emissary instead of the 3/2 Lightning Mauler, so it was a no trade on Alex's part. Significant mistake. He could have blocked the Lightning Mauler with his Snapcaster Mage, and that would be a trade.
Yeah.
This is gonna flip. I think this is gonna. I don't think this is going to end well for Alex, unless he has something like another Searing Spear for the Howlpack Alpha. That is the flip side of Mayor of Everbrook, but usually letting the Mayor flip.
Why did the Mayor flip? Wasn't Snapcaster cast on?
No, the Snapcaster is cast on Gene's turn.
Okay,
I thought Alex passed his turn.
Okay.
So here comes Snapcaster Mage. Searing Spear will take out the flipped Mayor of Everbrook, and now we're going to block the Lightning Mauler this time.
Yeah, this time he's got the right block.
So Snapcaster Mage doing at its finest right there.
Sometimes you just need a righteous blow.
Champion of the Parish and Boros Elite, and so Gene keeping on the pressure. Alex's deck they have access to each other's deck list. Gene knows Alex has no sweepers in the main deck.
Yeah, the other blue-white-red control deck that we saw yesterday, I think, had one main deck Supreme Verdict.
Yes, David Barani had.
Yes.
He was also in the top 8, and he had one copy of the card.
So, Gene replacing all his dead dudes with another champion, a Boros Elite. And here comes
the team.
Just about everybody.
One thing I like to say about your Nia Blitz matchup or Nia Blitz games is when Boros Elite goes Battalion, you're in trouble. Looks like Alex's draw is not very good.
No, I don't know what he's got in his hand.
Well, he had the Series Spear and 2 Snapcaster Mages.
Right.
But this looks like, yeah, if Alex goes a turn without casting spells while Gene still is casting spells, Alex is in quite a bit of trouble. Facing down quite a few, quite a bit of damage.
So yeah, again, no spell from Alex, passes back to Gene, and I mean that's what these Blitz decks want to do: take advantage of opponents who are just going to do nothing or do very little.
I think Gene's going to get the Madcap skills to pay the Madcap bills.
Is that how it goes?
Yeah, Gene, one of the cool things about Gene's deck is that he actually has, those are his non-spells. And I like that from Gene. I didn't think about it, but Madcap skills is actually quite potent as a way to break through.
Yeah.
It provides a different kind of reach than Searing Spear, but it provides more power.
Yeah, that's
clearly more power to your creatures.
Right.
But makes the deck more powerful.
Well, yeah, you have a creature plan, so you're just going to supplement that.
Yeah, a lot of times if they play a creature, you have the choice of either killing it. Like that Searing Spear is usually used to kill your opponent's creatures.
Right.
Right, some like extra points of life. Well, this one just circumvents that creature.
Right, and also provides that damage, that extra 3. So, I believe it's time for us to give away some premium. Yesterday, of course, we gave away 3 months of premium in the quarterfinals. Here in the semifinals, we're going to give away 6 months of premium. And if you don't know how this works, basically, we're going to ask you guys a question. You tweet the answer with the hashtag SCG Premium, which of course you can see right down there in the middle. Include that in your answer. You don't need to tweet it at SCG Live. You can just tweet.
Right. We will see every answer with the hashtag SCG Premium.
Right, and so everybody that answers correctly is in the running. We will pick one random correct answer to win the premium. So it doesn't matter how.
Yeah, you have until the end of the semifinals to get your answers in.
So for 6 months of premium, we have an event coming up. It's well, we have a couple events coming up, but we have a pretty big one coming up at the end of the month.
Grand Prix Miami.
Grand Prix Miami. We decided last night that the format would be standard.
Yeah, that was our trivia question.
That was the trivia question last night. This morning, of course, you know, what's a big event without big coverage? We've got 3 commentators lined up to bring you guys all the action from Grand Prix Miami.
3 of the best in the business.
They are.
They're my favorite, other than you, of course.
Yeah, likewise. So we just want to know
who are they?
Who are they? Yeah, who are the 3 commentators for Grand Prix Miami? So tweet your answer with the hashtag SCG Premium, and you're in the running. So let's go to the sideboards.
Yeah, going to the sideboards. Alex is down a game, so he's going to need the most amount of help. Fortunately, he has it. He has access to a ton of stuff against aggressive decks. I would imagine that he changed his deck quite a bit to transform into quite a control deck. He has 3 Supreme Verdict. You see that at the bottom. He has the 4th copy of Pillar and Flame to go with the 3 already in his main deck.
Yeah.
He has 3 Izzet Static Casters. Izzet Static Caster can do a lot of work on boards that aren't full.
Yeah.
If you think about it, Mayor of Everbrook goes down. Then Lightning Mauler goes down. Firefist Striker goes down. Then, if they haven't gotten out of control, Champion of the Parish, Experiment 1,
yep.
Boros Elite.
A lot of targets.
That is a Static Caster, one of the absolute best cards against a Naya Blitz deck, provided you can play it. You know, turn 3 on the play should be fast enough for it to dominate a game, especially if Alex also has a turn 2 play. On the other hand, Gene has a couple options. He has Boros Reckoner for his beatdown matchups. We will not be seeing it here.
Yeah. He has 3 copies of Boros Charm to hedge against those, or to basically match up against those Supreme Verdicts, or just provide that last bit of burn reach.
And I think those will come in and basically straight up place the Madcap skills.
Okay.
Alex is not going to present much in the way of blocking.
Right.
He's going to present far more removal. So putting a creature enchantment on his guys, not where he wants to be in this matchup. So I expect that to be a straight swap. I could also expect a Thalia, Guardian of Thraben, to perhaps replace something like a Firefist Striker. Because once again, the Battalion on Firefist Striker can't block, not that effective in this matchup.
And of course, he's one of the only people I've seen running super standard all-star Pillar of Flame Blood in his sideboard.
Yeah.
What exactly does that one do?
It's just a Pillar of Flame.
I know, I'm just kidding. It was just...
those will not be coming in this matchup.
It was just amusing.
Flame, so yeah,
Pillar of Flames of the Blood Hand, maybe.
I expect Gene to keep his deck pretty intact. It's pretty sound sideboarding. You get to take out 3 of your weaker creatures and 3 of your spells for just upgrades in this matchup.
Right.
So, colorless City of Brass that just happens to make all your creatures uncounterable. And to Boros Elite. Probably his weakest 1-drop on turn 1, but still a 1-drop.
Right.
Much better than passive.
Yeah, getting things going.
And can be one of the stronger ones if you have, you know, Burning Tree Emissary, Lightning Mauler draw, like he did in Game 1.
Yeah. So just land go from Alex, and Boros Elite coming in alone.
It does not have
a battalion. It's missing a couple buddies.
Yeah, quite yet. Oh wow! So this is quite a slow draw for Gene. I'm really curious to see what kind of hand Gene kept. There aren't very many 3-drops. There's 4 frontline medics, but anything else in his deck should be cast. Maybe Boros Charm that he brought in.
Could be.
I do see a Boros Charm.
Yeah. He's got his third land drop. There's a Temple Garden. After Alex just plays land go for the 3rd consecutive turn.
So in comes the Boros Elite.
So, looking over Gene's list, he doesn't really have anything to deal with an Is It Staticaster that would actually stick. You know, I was just thinking about if Alex had the Staticaster there, how, you know, he can deal with the Boros Elite, but maybe he's afraid of removal. But, you know, there's really not much in the way of removal in Gene's deck.
Yeah, so, yeah, Is It Staticaster seems like it's going to be a huge card. So it looks like, okay, Gene has, I believe Gene just drew that champion. What he's going to do is he had the option of between Frontline Medic or Champion of the Parish and hold up Boros Charm in case Supreme Verdict came to play. But this is the downside of holding up Boros Charm. He's almost obligated to cast it here.
Yeah, so Pillar of Flame on the champion, and then Boros Charm is going to make it indestructible. So trading a Pillar for a Boros Charm there. But Gene still got pressure.
I believe, yeah. Alex has a Detention Sphere which he elects not to cast. He has 1 copy of that card in his main deck. I believe it's in his hand. And Gene has a 2nd Boros Charm. It'd be interesting to see if and when Gene decides to go for a Frontline Medic, or if he just draws 2-drops to help him progress his board while holding up his other Boros Charm. Oh, he still has Madcap skills in his deck.
Interesting.
Yeah, I did not expect that.
But it's an extra 3 power, unfortunately for him. Alex has an answer. Yeah. Unfortunately for Alex, as we knew, Gene had a 2nd copy of Boros Charm.
So his creature is once again indestructible, but coming across only for 5. which is not a ton of damage for 3-card output.
Yeah, but so far, I mean, as bad as it looked, well, yeah, as bad as Gene's draw looked originally, he's still got guys on board and he's still doing damage, and Alex's answers have done nothing so far. I think this one might do something though.
Yeah, and that's a card that Gene was playing around and it still like really got him good. I'm not sure I would have played the champion over the frontline medic on turn 3. I think you just have to get it, especially when Gene did not play anything on turn 2. I don't think he had the luxury of playing around Supreme Verdict. If he rebuilds with this, I think a detention sphere might end the game for in favor of Alex.
So that frontline medic finally comes down to be the lone creature on the board.
Yeah, Gene just asking for cards in hand, see how behind he is.
And there's the detention sphere you mentioned. Takes out the frontline medic. Alex passes back with 3 mana.
Yeah, 2 cards.
Gene has frontline medic number 2. Wow, wish I would have cast that detention sphere.
Yeah, waited a turn.
Frontline medic is not so threatening without buddies. It's still a 3-power guy, but
yeah, Alex might be pretty light on action here.
Yeah,
I could imagine. I don't know what Alex's 2 cards are, but they could just be
Snapcaster Searing Spear here. Yeah.
Yep. That's one of the best possible cards, for sure. And Gene, in a lot of trouble, has lands 6 and 7 in his hand, so he has drawn 4 too many lands.
Apparently. So the Searing Spear, flashback, takes out the frontline medic, clears the way for Snapcaster beats, and Gene passes the turn with no play.
Yeah, so I was gonna be able to just put on not a huge clock, but he didn't have to pay.
It wasn't. This is just a bonus,
spell.
right?
Yeah, this is a bonus clock basically. Really shows you the power of Snapcaster. But yeah, and while both players seem to draw lands, I don't think there's a spell in either player's hand. Just lands.
Yeah, Alex passes. If he did indeed draw a land, just holding something up for to present the
Thalia,
possibility.
Garden of 3 man.
Yeah, so there's a Thalia from Gene.
One of the best cards he could have on turn 2. Not as exciting at this stage of the game.
So another
Pillar of Flame will exile Thalia, even if pays the extra mana.
Yep. And a Champion of the Parish for Gene. Meanwhile, Snapcaster getting his groove on, knocking Gene for another 2 damage, down to 12.
Good. So both players are flooding out, but that's how.
I think that favors Alex with. He's got the high end.
Absolutely, he has the far more expensive spells.
So,
but Gene also has the higher threat density. He has fewer lands in his deck.
That's true, yeah. So you see a Lightning Mauler come down for Gene, pumps the champion, and Gene passes back.
I believe so. Lightning Mauler, I might have considered pairing with the champion of the parish and attacking, but Gene feels like he needs more powerful synergies. So he's going. Alex, like, I'm a little worried. Supreme Verdict.
Yeah.
Is going to come to play, and so is Thundermaw Hellkite. So.
Oh, I see. I was going to say, I wonder why he didn't attack for the free 2, potential 2 damage with the Snapcaster. That
you figure that out real quick.
Yeah.
Thundermaw Hellkite much more threatening.
And Gene down to 7 off of that Thundermaw hit, and off the top Flinthoof Boar with haste.
I don't think there's a draw in Gene's deck that will let him do the remaining 7, nor deal with the Thundermaw Hellkite. So I think this Thundermaw is going to be lethal in 2 hits, maybe 1 if Alex draws a spell to finish.
Yeah, spell
Gene
or a
off.
Snapcaster Mage. And there's a Pillar of Flame.
Pillar deals 2 to Gene.
Yep.
Gene's at 2. we have game 3.
Yeah. So evening things up is Alex Blackard with his blue-white red.
Yeah, on the draw, basically Gene missing his 2-drop and being unable to play around Supreme Verdict effectively.
Right.
Pretty much spelled, you know, that was the key interaction in that game. So Gene being on the play means he has 3 full turns instead of just you know, kind of 2 turns and 1 mana before he has to hold up Boros Charm.
Yeah. Yeah.
This way, like, Gene could theoretically just kill Alex, or more likely play a Thalia, play a Boros Charm to protect himself from the Supreme Verdict.
So that means Gene's on the play here, which is pretty much exactly where he wants to be in game 3. And with his style of deck, I mean, if his draw is even average, I think he's got a good chance of heading to the finals.
Yeah.
Especially after already previously dispatching a similar blue-white red control deck. As we mentioned,
Let me tell you, Alex absolutely has the tools to. He could play spot removal until he gets to one of his key sideboard cards.
Yeah.
Either as a Staticaster or Supreme Verdict. Both those cards do a huge amount of work, and I actually think Alex is quite hard pressed to win the game without drawing one of those cards. Maybe multiples, depending on. Yeah,
and being on the draw just is going to potentially hamper
it puts
him.
a lot of stress on cards like Pillar of Flame, Searing Spear, Turn and Burn, Azorius Charm. Alex has a lot of cards. He's just going to need to, you know, play his lands mostly untapped. Can't take damage from shock lands too much. You usually could take like, you know, 2 damage, but if he has a mono shock land draw, he might even have to mulligan it because he'll take too much damage.
Right. Yeah. Either that or it'd be too slow.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. It's the choice between taking 4 damage from his lands or not being fast enough to.
Yeah. Taking 4 damage from attacking creatures that he can't deal with.
Right.
So it's one of those situations, but. You know, that's what you get with a standard format. You know, to have access to 3 colors of mana consistently, you need to play these kinds of lands, and you know, that's the price you pay.
Right, and I mean, one of the strengths of playing aggressive decks, and people talk about it in Modern all the time because you have fetch lands and shock lands. Wow, no 1-drop from Gene. It better have at least 1 Burning Tree Emissary to make up for it.
So we're underway. Gene with no 1-drop passes back. Alex says land go. It is a shock land. It's tapped. But Gene has a 2-drop.
And one of the best 2-drops in Thalia, Garden of Thraben.
Yeah. That's going to really hamper Alex in this early game unless he has land Pillar. He does have land. Does he have Pillar? It appears that he does. So he has the right answer this time. That is exiled.
Yep. Point that out. And okay, I believe that's a Sacred Foundry in Gene's hand. I thought he didn't have a 3rd land for his Frontline Medic.
Right, he does have Frontline Medic for sure.
But he does. And here comes Frontline Medic. Frontline Medic actually. Oh,
he's going to go with
Flint
instead. That works too.
I was going to say Frontline Medic, not one of the most powerful cards in Gene's deck, but it's not bad as just a 3/3 for 3.
Alright, Alex has Glacial Fortress. So 3 mana untapped. Looks like he's got an answer to the Flinthoof Boar in a form of Searing Spear.
Yep. So yeah, Alex getting basically his textbook draw. He is able to use spot removal to clear the board, buy him some time.
He's able to do what Robert Baratheon could not and spear the boar. And a Champion of the Parish. And a Mayor of Averbrook. Gene populating the board with dudes.
Yeah, there is a die on that Champion of the Parish. It's just blending in.
Yeah, it blends in with the artwork. It's yellowish.
So no 4th land from Alex. So I mean, you absolutely keep a hand with 3 land, the 5 cards.
Right.
Alex has played, but perhaps he has too many War Leaders Helix, Supreme Verdicts, and Gene can start doing work on Alex's life total.
And even an Is It Staticaster here is not impressive.
Well, I believe Is It Staticaster would have been cast and take care
out
of the Mayor of Averbrook. So yeah, if Gene had, I don't know if Gene should attack with the Halpack Alpha, potentially playing around Azorius Charm.
Mm-hmm. But
oh wow, so yeah, it's just go make a wolf.
Yeah.
That's almost surely disaster for Alex, unless Gene does not have Boros Charm. Looks like Gene does.
Oh no!
There's the Boros
All
Charm.
the answers to your answers.
And
really, the only answer to any of Alex's answers at this point. Supreme Verdict successfully.
It looks like Gene can't play his Madcap skills from his hand fast enough. Has to untap, has to draw, has to play his Madcap skills on something, and we'll send in for lethal.
Yeah, everybody in, and
this
Alex
should be the match.
Is tapped out.
So it's 3 from the Wolf.
There it is.
2 from the Champion, 6 from the Halpack Alpha, and Gene Richtsmeier onto the finals.
And you saw it's exactly the way we thought it might play out for Alex, where he has a spot removal to keep up, but he misses his 4th land drop, and when he hits his 4th land drop, he has to have it come into play untapped. It's a shock land, Hallowed Fountain. Takes 2 just from that, just helping his opponent.